Hello everyone and welcome. Today we have a speed build and this is what we are going to be building. I'm calling this the Garden Lover's Abode. In hindsight, I never put any gardening stuff in this. It was just like all like potted plants and trees and bushes and stuff like that, but I didn't actually put any planters or anything in there. So yeah, in hindsight, I might actually, before I put it on the gallery, actually put some little bits of gardening stuff maybe in the backyard because the name doesn't otherwise make sense. Anyway, what we are building today is something that I actually had an inspiration for. This was very much a case of I tried and failed to capture the inspiration. Well, I sort of. The shape I definitely got down. That was no problem. The problem that I had with this build was actually in the colour. And that was the reason that I got attracted to doing the build, was because of the colour. Because it was kind of like this real peachy apricot colour. And it just looked awful in the game. It just looked terrible. Like, I've used like the peachy sort of apricot colour before. Or even like salmon, you might go, like maybe it's a salmon, sort of peach, apricot, that just sort of range of colours. Because there's like a really nice salmon coloured, I think it's brick, that came with high school years. So that, like, the high school years pack has like a really nice range of sort of salmony colours. But yeah, no, I just couldn't get it. Just could not get that colour to work at all. So as you can see here, I'm sort of fussing around with the roof. So I'm just insetting that little roof at the front. It's just when I was looking at the inspiration, I could see it was like actually inset rather than sticking out. So that's what I kind of did with that there. And I'm just doing like another little entrance kind of way there with a bit of roof over the top of that. And another little roof there. So like cute little roofs everywhere. And then that's just going to have like a little porch on the back. And I've done the roofs a certain way, those little overhang roofs a certain way, so that I can actually do balcony around that platform that I put on there, because that will be like a platform that you can get out to, so a little balcony area. And I did do like a platform with a wide deck and I connected them with stairs, and that was very much how the inspiration was as well. So I feel like I did capture the inspiration in the sense of the shape of the build, but 100% just failed completely on the colour. I did try to do like the peachy sort of apricot kind of colour, and it was just such an utter fail. I had to change it to a different one. And that frustrates me because, like, that was the colour that I really liked and wanted to bring into the build, and then I couldn't make it work. So, this is me just fixing the roof so that I can have the fencing around. Because if you pull the roof out by one grid and then like extend the eaves, like the eaves can connect to a fence, but the actual roof cannot connect to a fence. So yeah. Anyway, you can sort of start to see where I'm going with the colours. So it was like sort of peachy, that sort of range of colours is what I'm sort of aiming for. So yeah, you can see it coming in here. And then just like by the time I sort of like tried to find a brick that worked with it. So I'm using the one from Jungle Adventure. That was sort of the only thing remotely in the colour, and I just like was looking at it and I'm just like, I hate this so much. It doesn't look good at all. Because it had like peach and grey was sort of the tones that the house was working with, and then I was just like, I don't like this at all. It just does not look good. So yep. This is me now changing the colours of the build. So I'm actually sticking, I think that was still sticking with the Jungle Adventure brick, but I'm changing that to a darker brown. And then I'm going more for a mushroom coloured plainer paint. So the plaster, no, not the pasta or the plaster. No, yes, the plaster. That's going to be... Yikes. That's going to be a mushroom colour, so it's more of a brown shade, but sort of still sort of within range of the colours that I was trying to do, but you know, ish. And I'm just changing all the woodwork to browns as well. So I'm using the 4-inch fence and the, I don't know if I kept that snowy escape for the stairs. No, I think I went with the mega basic stairs, and then I think it was probably just a base game wood as well, but keeping with the 4-inch fencing because it was quite a nice coloured fencing on that, and I thought it was quite pretty. So yeah, so I'm just switching everything around 2 shades of brown. I'm actually using the Castle Estate foundation. I haven't actually used the Castle Estate kit pack stuff very much since it came out. To be fair, I do have a build sitting there that I haven't completed. Like I was doing like a modern castle home thing with it, and I completely forgot about it. And I haven't finished that yet, so I'm gonna have to note that down and on my list to do, because I completely forgot. But as you can see here, like I felt like this color range was a lot nicer than the peaches. They just worked for me so much more. I did notice that I didn't have like the little overhang, because the porch on the top did have like an overhang as well, and I hadn't actually done that, so I'm just fixing that up at the moment. The reason I did like a little roof underneath is I wanted to do an exterior trim around there, just to have it like looking like it was a little bit thicker. So that was just a little trick, is like you create a false roof under there so that you can create the exterior trim underneath the roof, just to create that effect. I'm just switching out the columns because I decided I didn't like the columns. Oh, the windows. It took me, I edited it out all the time it took me to decide on a window. This was literally like the 100th window that I tried. So this is from, what is that from? Is that from, I can see it's blue. I can't see which pack it is though. Is that Wedding Stories? Anyway, using this window, and I actually really loved how it sort of came together. So I'm using, because I'm using medium height walls, I think. And then, yeah, I think I'm using medium height walls. Must be. It kind of worked. I'm just hiding, like when you do the roof thing, where you are extending the eaves and to have it up against fencing, if the side of the roof is exposed, you'll be able to see that there's like a gap in the roofing, so hide it behind a tree. That's my hot tip. Hide it behind a tree. So that was my like solution for fixing. I'm sure there's other solutions as well, but in this instance, to hide the little gap underneath the roof, I hid it behind a tree. Oh man. So I'm just trying to decide on a fence to go in the backyard. I'm hating all my options. So yeah, there wasn't like any, like there's not, besides the tall base game wooden fence, which doesn't look that great, there isn't a lot of options for like a tall dark brown fence. But this one from Horse Ranch is absolutely gorgeous. And I think you can get away with it as just like a fence and not anything to do with stabling and stuff, like, you know, in the right context. I will actually change that, because I was doing like the Wedding Stories gate, and then I was like, well, why don't I use the Wedding Stories fencing? So that's what I did. I actually used quite a lot of the Wedding Stories stuff in this build, oddly enough. I'm not sure why, but yeah, there was like little things in the, I don't know, the Wedding Story stuff just kind of had the right vibe for what I was building, so it just ended up being the stuff that I use. And you know, while I like a lot of the Wedding Stories build by, I don't think I actually use a whole lot of it, like a lot. So like the fencing I haven't used and I don't know how long. The gates I haven't used and I don't know how long. The doors, same again. That's Wedding Stories. I don't know how long it's been since I've used it. I certainly never used those windows. So yeah, it was quite an interesting sort of build, in the sense that I did use some, you know, little bits and pieces of different stuff. So I'm just doing the little front area. So the front area kind of had like chairs out the front and little bits and pieces and stuff out there, because it's quite a wide space. So It was kind of like quite an open front yard kind of thing going on, but it had like lots of potted plants, and I wanted to kind of recreate that as well. And that was in the inspiration, was the potted plants everywhere. So yeah, I did want to capture that and have that sort of vibe going on. So this is me just going through and finding all the potted plants that I thought would suit. And it did have like a whole lot of different colours, like a lot of pinks and stuff. Was sort of the main kind of colour in the garden. So I think that works with, like, you know, your peachy sort of apricot shade. So kind of having that range of pink flowers kind of made sense to me with that colour palette. I think we kind of have that in a sense, like with all the sort of the beiges, light browns, they sort of do lend themselves towards that colour palette. So I kind of stuck with the pinks. I thought that they would sort of still work quite nicely. So yeah, kind of stuck with those. And just getting a whole lot more of those potted plants out there on the porch, you know, for your garden lover's abode that actually has no actual gardening. Oh, velvet, velvet, velvet. Sometimes I'm a wonder to myself, you know. Well, to be fair, I did come up with a name like after I built it, because I sort of looked at it and I thought, oh, garden lover's abode. And then it occurred to me afterwards, I was like, oh, I didn't do any gardening stuff. So I will probably sneak in some like little gardening pots around the place as well. But I think you kind of get the vibe as to what I'm going for there. So around the front yard, I'm just going to get in the terrain paint. I'm just going to add in like a few more like bushes and bits and pieces around the front as well. So I am building this in Tomarang. So I did want to kind of reflect that a little bit in the build. So I will bring in sort of like a little bit more of the for-rent plant stuff. Yes, there we go. That's the stuff. From build by from the debug menu. That's what I was trying to say. My brain is just not working this morning. I don't know what's going on. But it is a lovely day in Taranaki here. The sun is shining. The cicadas are chirping their little hearts out. The cats have lounged around in the sun, got pets, and taken themselves outside to enjoy the sunshine as well. The sweet little frolickers that they are. So yeah, I'm definitely plumbing the depths of debug for the plants, because we didn't get any plants in the for rent pack. So you kind of have to, if you want to, like, you know, keep up with the vibe of the area. Yes, I'm still bitter about that. Thanks for asking. So I'm just working on a light. So I'm using the Jungle Adventure light, I think it is. Just something decorative. I think that on the inspiration, it actually had quite a decorative light on the exterior as well. So I think I was just kind of going with that vibe. I'm just going to do like a little backyard area. So once again, I am going wedding stories. So I'm using the wedding stories lounges. I often don't use those either, but I was like in a real wedding stories mood. One of those funny things, as you do. And just a little seating area and barbecue area out the back here. It occurred to me that there wasn't that much space, so I did need to keep it sort of fairly off to the side. So just 3 seats and off to the right against the railing there. And then I've just used the Desert Luxe barbecue and a little side table type thing, because I love that barbecue. And it was also kind of the right colour. And then like the lights kept snapping to the fence. I was just like, oh, stuff it. I'll just put them on the fence and add some different stuff to the side table, because I was going to put a lantern there, and I was like, oh well. The game just told me what to do, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to do that. So I'm using the patio stuff pack couch there, and also the matching plant, and I'm just going to add like a couple more planters around the back. But I think we're just about done on the outside. Yes, we are. So it's time to move on to the inside. So I'm just working out the floor plan. So this is so I'm just working out where the stairs are going to go, because you can't really work out the floor plan on a 2-level home until you've worked out the stairs. So I'm just trying to work out how I can get the stairs over in that corner. That's what I'm trying to do. So getting there, and there's just going to be what is there going to be? I think there's only going to be one bedroom. Yes, it is 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, but it is quite a large bathroom, but not bathroom, bedroom. So it is set up, designed for a couple. So it's quite a large house for a couple, but sometimes you want like a nice sort of little space for entertaining and whatnot. But yeah, I did build this for a couple. And I've used the Seasons bed, which I'm very into the Seasons bed at the moment. I don't know why. Just going through the Seasons bed kind of phase. But, you know, to be fair, it is probably one of the best beds in the game for a dark brown palette. And the interior here is going to be dark brown. So I'm just putting in a chimney in a fireplace, weirdly underneath the stairs, but it's just where the space was. And I was like, I'm sure I'll be fine. I'm sure it's not a fire hazard at all, and nothing will happen. I mean, the Sims will be absolutely fine. It won't be a problem. But, yeah, probably not the most usual place to put a fireplace. And on the interior, I'm going like a real rust orange, and oh my gosh, I just loved it. So we're going like brown and rust orange. So in the downstairs area, there's going to be a separate living area, dining, kitchen. Although actually, is it separate? No, I changed that, so it's not. It's open flow, and I can't remember what I did in that little nook over there where I just put the door. It's either a study or a bathroom. I can't remember. I think it might be a bathroom, but I could be wrong. So I'm just working out how I'm going to do this kitchen. So we've got like this little inset area. So I thought, perfect, we're going to put like the bin and the fridge in the little inset area. So I'm just doing my little shrinking dishwasher trick so I can have a counter up above the dishwasher. I mean the bin. Just hides the bin a little bit, tidies it up a bit. And I'm using the Jungle Adventure kitchen set. So, yeah, just creating like the kitchen island with that. And I'm just thinking, you know, I kind of want something to go down that wall. So, yeah, that wall disappears and I'm going to build that through there. And then I'm going to do like a little half wall because I wanted to have like at least like a little bit of separation in between the hall entrance kind of area, the lounge and the kitchen. So that little half wall there is doing the trick there for that. And I think that worked quite nicely. So it is open flow living area, but there is like that, you know, that little divide. So it does feel like kind of separate rooms, I think. So dining table, I went Jungle Adventure again. So the stuff, game packs are getting a real good workout in this build. So yeah, Jungle Adventure and Wedding Stories took up a big hunk of that, and I'm just trying to remember what lights I've used. I know they're the wicker lights, but I can't remember which pack they're from. Oh well. Anyway, and I've used the Cool Kitchen flowers because they had like the orange and the red, and I was like, oh, that looks so vibrant against the orange that we've used on the walls. And I know sort of orange and brown is probably not to everybody's taste, but I think just those earthy colours worked really nicely and kind of worked with the colour palette of the house on the exterior as well. So, I don't know, I really liked it, so, well, I guess it was my decision at the end of the day. And then I decided that I wanted to have the sink over there because I wanted to hang up the little dish rack thing. So I was like, oh, I'll just move the sink over there. And I'm just going to put some more little doodads along the wall here as well, because I just wanted to make it feel like a little bit more sort of like a used area, bits and pieces of clutter and stuff. And I could not find a place for those pots and pans. So I was like, I'll delete those. But I'm using the little herb pot that comes with Blooming Rooms. I love that little herb pot. I want more little herb pots for the kitchen. I think that would be great. Although I know there is the hanging herbs as well, but I always forget to use those. But those are also good. I should use those more because I do forget those. But anyway, so we've got like lots of small appliances, which I think is great. So we've got the kettle, the food processor, the steamer, or the pressure cooker, whatever they're calling it, and the waffle maker. So, you know, it's going to be like quite a fun kitchen to use. Got lots of little things. I didn't use a pizza oven. I don't know how sort of fiery risky it is at the moment, if it's still quite fiery risky or if they fix that. But I haven't used it since since Home Chef Hustles came out because of the fire risk, and I haven't gone back to it. So, you know, that's one of those things. It's broken, so you don't touch it for a while. and assume that in about 2 years time they will probably fix it. I'm just trying to work out how to get that T in behind there, because I wanted like to have like the little T in there. So just fixing that up and doing some clutter on the island, and I'm just going to work on some hutches in those little corners because I wanted to have something in those spaces, and then I needed something for this space. So just going to work on some artwork and a little hall table thing, just for little bits of clutter and stuff. But I love the Get Famous artwork for this, because the some of the colours, like there's some really good orange colours in that Get Famous art swatch. So I think there's about 3 or 4 really good orangey kind of vibe, like it's got like blues and oranges and stuff in it, so it works really well in a house that has quite a bit of orange in it, which our house does. But I love like having like the different wallpaper and like being able to like bring in this with the earthy browns and that sort of thing. There is the Jungle Adventure end table as well, and just plumbing the depths of my everyday clutter kit, of course, because that's the hallway kit, isn't it? It's all the little bits and pieces that you need for your hallway. So I've never really used that painting much in any sort of serious fashion, but I thought it actually kind of worked there, the little jazzman kind of painting. It kind of like colour-wise it worked. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to put myself out there and use the jazzman painting for once. Like, I normally avoid the jazzy paintings because I'm not such a fan of them. Unless it's like a music-y kind of house, I guess. Then you can all get away with it, but colour-wise I think it worked for once. So I'm just doing a few more plants on the interior. Obviously we have a lot of potted plants on the exterior, and it kind of makes sense to have like the potted plants on the interior as well, because if they like them outside, they're probably going to like them inside, right? So I was thinking about having the 2 armchairs here in front of the fire, but then by the time I was looking at putting the couch in, that didn't quite work. So I thought, right, one cozy little chair underneath the stairs, which I need to play test. But yeah, one little cozy chair under there, and then we have the couch, and then we can put maybe some more chairs or another couch or something across there. So I decided to go the chairs. I went with the Horse Ranch chairs and couch because colour-wise I felt like they worked really nice. They are nice and plushy and cozy looking as well, so I thought that kind of suited the vibe of the house. I'm just working on what to do with rugs. I did struggle a bit with rugs in this one, but I sort of felt like the light brown rugs worked really nicely because you got those touches of light brown in the windows and the door trim, so I thought bringing in a little bit more light brown on the floor would actually work quite nicely as well. So this is the stair landing here, so I'm just adding in a little bit of artwork with touches of sort of the reddy orange in it, and then I'm just doing like a little desk up here, so a little study area. I wonder if I forgot that bathroom downstairs. I should check that because I haven't actually built in there yet. Maybe I'll remember it later. So yeah, just keeping it pretty basic, just a chair, desk, the bookcase, and a plant. I don't like that plant. There's a few plants that have shadows on them, and they're fine on the exterior, but as soon as you try to use them inside and then you can see the shadow, it's just like, no, I can't use you, even though I want to use you. Why do you have shadows? Go away, shadows. You know, that whole thing. So now I'm just working on the bathroom colour. So I'm doing orange floor, brown wall. So I'm just kind of doing the reverse of what we have around the rest of the house in the bathroom. So mixing it up a little bit and using the Desert Luxe sort of yellowy goldish curtains there. So that I think looked really nice in the room. It just sort of brought out like a real rich warmth to the room, and it is like a decent sized bathroom as well, so I could fit a few things in there, which was nice. So I used the 2 ends and just the usual regular counter from Jungle Adventure, so I just kept it with the same counter as we used downstairs. I think is it? I think it is. Well, let's just say it is. And I'm just going to add in some clutter. So I keep like quite tonal with the colours of the clutter as well. So I matched it to the curtains, so it's like quite a lot of gold in the room, and just I think it added like a really nice amount of warmth, which I really So I was really pleased with how that came out. You know, I know it's sort of not always easy to get super creative with bathrooms, but it kind of depends on the house as well. Like sometimes I'll do like little raised areas or sunken areas and that sort of thing, but sometimes it is nice just to have it. It's simply arranged, but beautifully decorated or something, so that the Sims don't have too much trouble with it and they can use it easily, but they can enjoy the atmosphere of the room as well. So I didn't like the toilet just because with the blue bowl kind of thing going on, it didn't quite work for me. But so I switched it to a more antique looking toilet, and I thought that sort of more worked with the colours of the room. And that's the bathroom done. So using the Seasons side tables to sneak in beside the bed at the moment, and then I'm kind of going to realise that with curtains that's not going to work, so I'm going to get rid of side tables altogether. Oh, and I was just doing like a little step up with the platforms, so just mucking it around a little bit, but I felt like that sort of worked better. You know, just creating that sort of false step. And because like the plants sunk through the platform, I was kind of used that as like making them shorter planters. I thought that was actually quite neat. So I was like, well, this little corner bugged me. Like I was trying to use it for the dresser, and it was just like sitting way too far back. So I thought, right, okay, well, I'll take it back one and then try it from there. And then it was like still sitting too far back. So I was like, no, you know what? I went through all of the armoires. And I was like, oh, no, I still hate that. So we'll just bring that forward and we'll get rid of the tall armoire thing altogether and bring in something a little bit flatter, like a dresser. So I did that. I think that's a Jungle Adventure dresser as well, funnily enough. And then I'm just going to put a mirror in behind there, because it's nice to have a mirror on the wall when you're doing your makeup and whatnot. Doing your hair, you know, making sure you look good for the day. Gotta do that. So just getting a few bits and pieces of clutter just to put up on the dresser, because, well, you need some clutter to make it look lived in, really, don't you? There we go, and then I'll just change it to sort of the lighter tones on there, just to make it tonally fit in with the rest of the room. And you know what? I really feel like I forgot that room downstairs. I'm going to have to check the build before I put it up on the gallery, because I really do think I forgot to build one of the rooms downstairs. Ha Classic. Anyway, so we're just deciding on what to do with the couches in this corner, because I wanted to have a couch here. But there is a real lack of really good dark brown couches, and I didn't want to use the horse ranch one again, so I'm just trying to flick through and see what I can do that's going to be like a little bit different, because I wanted to mix it up a little bit. And yeah, so this is what I'm sort of doing. I think I'm using the Book Nook stuff, just mixing it up a little tad. Yes, I am using basically the whole Book Nook set in there, and just adding in a little bit more clutter there in the thing, and some pictures. And then I think we've just got a rug to do, and then that's about that room. Oh yeah, I've got to put the lights in because I got rid of the side tables. So I'm just using the Book Nook lights. Like, I don't like love those lights, but they're good lights, if that makes sense. Like, then, yeah, I don't think they're the prettiest lights, but yeah, I do quite often use them because they are a good shape and stuff like that. So yeah, they're okay, but not my fave. Anyway, I think we're just about done. I did forget that room downstairs. How hilarious. Let's take a tour of what we did. So this is the exterior. So I will go in and fix up my missing room, and also I will put in a couple of pots here and there for actual gardening too. But I was really happy with how it sort of came together in terms of the shape and everything like that. I wasn't 100% sold on the colour of the exterior, but I do think like the windows kind of pull it together out of everything. So yeah, I'm okay with that. I did love like I think I loved the interior more than the exterior, just because I had such a struggle with the color on the exterior. So when I finished the build, I was like, I like the interior. I don't know about the exterior, but in hindsight and with the passing of time, I don't hate the exterior at all. But yeah, so this is how it came together on the inside. So this is our jungle adventure kind of kitchen dining area, and then going through to our horse ranch living area. Going upstairs, that's our little small study kind of vibe thing going on the stair landing, and then we've got our lovely big bathroom up there, plenty of space. I love sort of the gold tones in that. I think that's lovely. And then going through to the bedroom, we've got like the same sort of tonal colours there as well, and I think they came together nicely. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had fun, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.